reading Psalms now is kind of cool because so Psalms is nothing. It's just book like chapter after chapter. They're poems or songs written by various people. A lot from David, where they're expressing themselves, whether they're expressing like lament or sadness, um, or depression, whatever it is. Lament is, I feel like that's, I don't know the true definition, but I feel like it's like deep sorrow, and or praise and joy and great, and like being grateful and thankful to God. I feel like one thing Psalms encourages us to do is to express ourselves, and teaching us that it's okay to express yourself no matter how you're feeling. God wants you to talk to him, to process your emotions, whether good or bad, whether it's sad or happy, negative or positive. And I feel like we all know what happens when you don't do that. They get bottled up. Your physical body can get sick. You do things that you probably wouldn't have done, if that you probably wouldn't have wanted to do, if you would have just processed whatever you needed to process well. Psalms is a wonderful example of how you can be in the trenches, and God wants you to express that. He wants you to tell him. He wants you to talk about how unfair this world is, how ugly this world is, how dumb people are, how much you hate being here, whatever it is. He wants to hear all that. And whether you got to do it in a journal, in prayer, in therapy, whatever, he wants you to do that. And I feel like he blesses us, especially today, with a lot of resources in order to do that in a healthy way. And if you don't know how to do that, we have the resources like therapy, and just a lot of online resources, mental health resources, to give you ways to get those feelings out in healthy ways. And I thank God for mine. Um, so, or whether it's joy or praise. One of my friends have said multiple times that it's hard to, she doesn't really know what to do when she's like, when something wonderful happens. She doesn't really know how to respond. And I feel like it's hard to feel the wonderfulness of a moment when you're not sure how to respond. And even the Bible teaches us how to do that. Read the Bible, and it'll even teach you how to respond in ways that you probably weren't taught or allowed or given enough opportunities to learn how to respond in times when you feel this immense, pleasure. I love seeing toddlers, and how when they're happy, they like do like, or they just scream, or they, I don't know, they can fall to the ground. They do random things because their body demands for it to be felt. Oh, that was in A Fault in Our Stars. I love that. But yeah, that was a quote in A Fault in Our Stars, and it was like the the body demands to be felt. I think he was talking about cancer, but it works in this situation too. Your emotions demand to be felt, and kids show that, they teach us that well. And the Bible gives example. I don't know how many books are in Psalms. I think it's over 150. I think it's 149. I think it's 149. Maybe. And it's like example after example after example of, these are some things, these are some ways you can verbally express your emotions, whether it's good or whether it's bad. And so read Psalms if if you're interested, or if that's an issue. If you want to get some examples of how can I express this, whether to God, just out loud in a journal. But your emotions need to be felt so that your body can actively move on from them if they're negative, or fully feel them if they're amazing.